Welcome back to their hot takes, and the first one comes from Twitter and it says, the more I see Gunther wrestle, the more I notice that he can't perform any of his moves right, meaning that they don't think Gunther can wrestle, and I gotta completely disagree with this one. In fact, they might even disagree because somebody in the comments of that tweet replied showing that they actually said Gunther is the third best wrestler in the world right now, which is an insane receipt to have. You just look like a fool. And that's when he replied saying, yeah, based on in-ring ability, bozo. I don't even know what he means by that, but somebody else replied saying, you have the perfect display name, which by the way, the display name is clown. So yes, this is some clown behavior. Gunther can wrestle. He's one of the best in the world right now. I don't agree with that hot take. Staying on topic with Gunther, the next hot take says that Gunther versus Goldberg should be a squash match where Gunther destroys Goldberg, and that's not a bad idea, and I would not hate that at all. But I think I would love to see something like, you know, Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg 2016 Survivor Series, where Goldberg completely stuns Gunther, but instead of winning this match, Gunther then kind of, you know, picks himself up and wins after a pretty good match. That's what I want to see, just because I think there needs to be some shock value, because you can tell that Gunther does not take Goldberg seriously at all, so that could be a cool storyline. The next hot take says that Cody Rhodes' title reign has been really good. Just because every match hasn't had a cinema-worthy build-up does not mean that it's bad. The matches more than make up for the lack of huge storytelling. I kind of understand what they're trying to say, but I think that Cody's had a decent reign. It's not the best one ever, but it's not the worst. It was kind of fun to see, but I do think it's going to hit another notch with this entire Kevin Owens and Randy Orton saga. It already feels like it's so much more important now after Kevin Owens turned after bad blood, so I expect it to take a turn, and I think The Rock also getting in that mix will make it even better. Staying with Cody Rhodes, this says that Cody Rhodes should not be demanded to turn heel just because his attire resembles a comic book villain. Cheering for bad guys is so needlessly overrated. I gotta disagree, just because it's not about the attire. Like, yes, that has a little factor, but the bigger reason why Cody needs to turn heel is because he's so much better as a villain. If you saw his indie work after he left WWE, this man was straight up a villain. I think he just understands how to perform as a bad guy, and I think he would thrive in the WWE, especially if he's not aware that the fans don't like him. So we got to see Homelander Cody, because I think it would work really well and make Cody Rhodes have one of the best stories ever, and once he does that. The next hot take says that Jimmy's return was better than The Rock's return. In terms of storytelling, I gotta kind of agree. I think that Jimmy's return was really cool, especially helping Roman and then hugging him after the match. The Rock's return was great too, but he kind of did nothing. He just came to the stage, kind of stood there and walked away. So I would say that Jimmy's return was better, but The Rock's was also great. The whole night was a ton of fun. Bad Blood ended on a really strong note. Being Rational says that Roman Reigns should not win any world title for the next 2 years. A lot of people will say this, but I gotta disagree. It's Roman freaking Reigns, and plus he's kind of back to a, you know, better schedule where he's showing up at least 3 or 4 times a month. So I have no problem if Roman Reigns becomes the WWE champion tomorrow. I would be 100% down to see it happen. This hot take says that Randy Orton is the most underrated and underappreciated GOAT level star in history. Loyalty is something that isn't mentioned or glorified enough. He should have a program with The Rock. I gotta say I disagree with the first part of this hot take. I think that Randy is not underrated at all. He's one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. He's had 14 world championships, and if you have that many title reigns, you are not underrated at all. You gotta be a GOAT for a reason. You gotta understand that the booker put him in that situation because they knew he was one of the best in the ring. As for the part with The Rock, I think that would be a great feud. The Rock versus Randy Orton would be so fire. I don't see it happening just because The Rock is busy with Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes, but I will say that that would be pretty cool. Speaking of Randy Orton, Zayn did say something very interesting. They said that Randy Orton's defeat from Brock Lesnar in 2016 SummerSlam damaged him to the point where he's never been the same afterwards, and I kind of understand and kind of see where he's coming from. This makes a lot of sense because after he lost to Brock Lesnar, the WWE never really treated Randy as a top guy. Like before 2016, he was a top dog. He was winning championships. He was in the top of the main event, WrestleMania main events, WWE title main events, all that stuff. But after losing to Brock, kind of lost the spot at the very top. He's still at the top, but he's not the #1 guy. So I hope that he can return. Even though he's old, I don't have a problem with Randy Orton being a WWE champion. Hopefully, things can turn around. And the last hot take about Randy says that Randy being bald again has convinced me we're getting the absolute menace he was back in 07 through 2011. And now his boy Triple H is running the show. And the fact that Raw is coming to Netflix soon, I just know Randy is going to go on a punting rampage. I said it once and I'll say it again. That entire locker room is not safe as long as Randy is bald. That is a funny hot take. And I do think that Randy on Netflix would be completely unhinged. We need to see Randy the Rookie Killer, or Randy just going absolutely nuts and killing Cody Rhodes or something like that, because Randy is so much better as a heel. I think he will turn heel very soon. Skrilla says that Drew McIntyre is one of the best heels ever. He's definitely one of the best right now, if not the best. I don't know if he's the best heel ever. We gotta wait and see until his run as a heel is over. But for now, he's making his way up the ladder in terms of being the best heel in the history of the company. Messi says that the Hardy Boys are just a nostalgia act at this point. I guess I would have to agree with this. I think the Hardy Boys are a nostalgia act, but that's not a problem at all. They're still the Hardy Boys. We still love them. I don't care. I still want to see them in the WWE have one more run, especially being the tag team champions. This hot take says that Finn Balor needs a world title reign. He needs his old song back and needs the demon persona treated with respect. You get the deal. I gotta say that I agree. I think a lot of people would also agree. Finn Balor needs to leave the Judgment Day. It's just not working. The demon was a much better character for him. Spiky says that AJ Styles deserves to be the champion one last time, preferably a world champ. I just can't say the same thing. I can't agree with you. I think AJ's time as a world champion has come to an end. We have CM Punk, who needs a world championship. Gunther's the champion right now. You got John Cena, who's going to return soon, and I think he should be the champion. Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns. There's just too many people that I don't think AJ Styles should be a WWE champion one more time. Deathstroke says that Tangaloa will be inducted into the Hall of Fame when it's all said and done. Yes, I agree. Big Bird says that Dom Mysterio is the greatest Mysterio of all time, and I'm sorry, no, it's still Rey Mysterio, sorry. Balor Club says that Dominic will go down as one of the best heels of all time when it's all said and done. Similar to Drew McIntyre, he's definitely making his way up the ladder, and I think there's a good chance, because as for Drew McIntyre, people still love him, he's getting cheered, but Dominic Mysterio, nobody likes this man, everybody hates him. I think in 20 years, I don't even know if he'll ever turn face at this point. So Dom has a good chance of being one of the best heels. This hot take says that Prime Eddie Guerrero and Dom would have been the best tag team of all time. All I gotta say is, yeah, I think that heel Eddie and also Dom would go crazy terrorizing Rey Mysterio. It would have been so funny to see. Derp Spy says that they should introduce a mixed tag team championship. The first reign should last for at least a year, with Liv and Dom being the inaugural champions. I feel like there are a decent amount of male-female wrestler combos, especially as factions are taking off. They could always build more, and this is honestly a great and fantastic idea. I would love to see it go down. Imagine Liv and Dom walking around with championships. They would be hella annoying, and that's why it would work so well. Rogue One says that Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania 39 is the greatest women's match in North American history. And I do think that Charlotte versus Rhea at WrestleMania 39 is the best women's match, honestly, of all time. They take that title. I think they deserve. That match was so freaking good. Kevin says that we need to see Kurt Gable versus Kurt Angle. No, like Kurt Angle, I would love to see if they were in their prime, but at this point, Kurt Angle is just way too old. Keep him away. I think that having him as a manager would be a much better option. And the last hot take says that Triple H is ultimately the best booker of all time, but he still has me mad at some of his booking decisions the past 2 years that he's been in charge. And I know a lot of people will disagree, but I still think that Vince is the best booker of all time. We cannot forget about all the work and all the booking that Vince McMahon has done in the last 40 years. Vince is still the best booker of all time. I think Triple H could become the best booker, but he's got to at least do this for 20 or 30 more years, because Vince McMahon put in a lot of work to earn that title. Anyways, that is it for the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video.